Okay, everyone, could you turn off your cell phones?
Oh, I should.
That's okay. 4:36. We starting this board meeting. Thank you. We call the order. Commissioner Mason, could you please do the invocation?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to come before you today to do your will first and then the will of the Sarasota Housing Authority. We ask that you bless our thoughts, our words, our deeds, and it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. We now do Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Sheila Taylor. Vice Chair Cologne.
You're present.
Commissioner Meredith.
Here.
Commissioner Mason.
Here.
Commissioner Morgan.
Here.
Commissioner Roman and man not here. City Commissioner Jen Ahern Koch.
Here.
Thank you. Okay, can I have a motion for the approval of the minutes for July 23rd? I have a second. All in. John. Commissioner.
And Meredith was second.
Yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Can we have a motion for approval of the agenda for today?
Hang on, there was two commissioners not present.
Yes.
Correct.
Commissioner Mason and Commissioner Roman were not at the meeting
Right.
for the minutes.
Madam Chair,
So you have
Yes.
to, you have to vote present on the minutes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
so at the other housing authorities I represent, I started to implement a new process. It's really not new. I just went back and reviewed some of Robert's rules of order. So if in fact we change, instead of approving the minutes, if we simply change it to indicate that the board is accepting the minutes.
Okay,
Because
board.
the minutes go out ahead of time, and all of you have an opportunity to review it. If we go to acceptance of the minutes, it will allow each commissioner to vote. We will not have to have minutes roll over to the next meeting if we don't have enough people to vote, because you're not approving it, you're accepting it.
Okay.
So a proper motion for accepting the minutes would be, I accept the minutes with any proposed changes. Because the minutes have gone out to you ahead of time, if you had any proposed changes, that would be the time to make the changes. If we go to that system, every commissioner votes every time.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Now, can I have a motion approval of the agenda? Do we have to do the same thing for,
No,
not for the agenda?
No, if you ask for a motion to accept the minutes
Oh,
with
okay.
any recommended changes.
Okay. Can I have a motion to accept the minutes with any proposed minutes?
So moved.
Changes? Okay.
Second.
Second. Any opposed?
Commissioner Meredith second.
I'm sorry. Sorry.
Any opposed? All in favor?
No.
Everyone votes.
Aye.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve, for approval of the agenda for today?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
I didn't catch that, I was right, I'm sorry. Can you just reiterate who makes the motion and who seconds it for me?
Commissioner Mason made the motion.
And Morgan second.
Commissioner Morgan second.
Second. Commissioner Mason,
Thank you.
and then Commissioner Morgan second.
Thank you, I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. Thank you. Sorry for moving kind of fast. Okay, now we have special presentations. We have Sarasota Housing Partner introduces Sarasota Strong.
Yes.
Yes.
So we're happy to introduce, well, first of all, I really wish Michelle Steers could be here. She's our Director of Resident Services, and she works very closely with Andy and Helen. But so she was going to introduce you, but she is up to here with kids in our after-school program. And we were like, well, you could Zoom. And she's like, no, that would be even worse. So anyway, but just want to say we're happy to introduce you, Andy and Helen, founders of SRQ Strong, to speak to us about SRQ Strong and the ways in which you guys are sharing your hearts, minds, and expertise in trauma awareness and trauma healing with the Housing Authority residents and staff. Years ago, before SRQ Strong was founded, Helen Neal worked with adult public housing residents as a guide and support to their efforts to recognize and heal self-sabotaging thoughts, beliefs, behaviors rooted in trauma. More recently, Helen has worked regularly with our youngest students to help them identify and understand the links between their thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. We are excited and grateful for that. Beginning this September, SRQ Strong will co-host monthly lunch and learns for and with McAllen residents. Each month, we will provide lunch and a surprise educational or fun program for our residents. And personally, I did learn, I was exposed to trauma-informed care through the Campaign for Grade Level Reading and who's the woman who became Surgeon General in California? Anyway, I listened to her whole story about basically how she uncovered, she ran a health clinic in one of the poorest areas of San Francisco, and she kept seeing like the same health consequences cropping up, and she really wanted to figure out why am I seeing this in all of these kids and teens who are coming into the clinic. And so she Nadine Harris, Dr. Nadine Harris, and anyway, they identified like 7 traumas that kids can be exposed to. And she, along with Kaiser Permanente, did a huge study that showed very strong correlation between, a certain number of these ACEs, these acute childhood experiences, and these health outcomes, like really strong correlation. And a number of years ago, I played her TED Talk to my entire staff because, when you look at what the different ACEs are, of the 7 ACEs, I think it is very common that the vast majority of our families have experienced 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 of these ACEs. And it's stuff like sexual abuse, physical abuse, substance abuse, community violence, right? Hearing gunshots, seeing fights, outside where you live. So I can't think of them all. Divorce. I mean, there's like 7 of them. And anyway, I just felt like this was, a pretty acute issue that that all people, to some extent have experienced, but pretty acute for the communities we serve. So I was very excited that SRQ Strong kind of sprung up and that they've really taken root in our community, and that you both are pouring in your your hearts and your minds and your expertise to help people become more resilient and overcome trauma. So I just wanted to say that. I really appreciate that. So,
Thank you.
so please,
Where do we stand so that they can see?
Right here.
Right
So-
here? Right here? Okay.
and I wanted to, y'all are basically our first partner, but we're going to start bringing key partners of ours to present to the board so that you all have a much better understanding of not only who our partners are, but what the amazing stuff that they're doing for our families. So.
Well, Andy's gonna give you the overview, so.
Yeah, so thank you, William, for that a beautiful and informative introduction around the ACE study, because that really has formed the bedrock of the field. So my name is Andrea Blanche, most people call me Andy, and I am one of the founding members and currently the board chair of SRQ Strong. I'm a psychologist by training, in case you have an interest. Our mission is really to empower people who live in Sarasota and Manatee counties to overcome trauma and build resilience to increase both individual and community resilience and fulfillment. That's really our mission. And our vision is to create a community that works together to support every individual in thriving. It's a big vision, but that's really what we see is communities that are working to support every single individual who lives there. And we do this through 4 basic sets of activities. The first thing we do is convene community conversations, and that really is our public education and outreach function, bringing people together to put information and real tools in the hands of ordinary people who need them to live their lives well. The second thing is really facilitating what the field calls post-traumatic growth. So you can have some really bad stuff happening to you, but not only can you heal from it, but it can be the impetus for you to grow in new and unexpected directions. And this is really Helen's work, and she's going to take the majority of the time to talk about the work she does with individuals and groups to help them not only overcome, but thrive after having some pretty bad experiences. The third thing we do is incubate a model called trauma-informed community development. And TICD for short is really, it's a social movement building activity that works neighborhood by neighborhood, block by block, to get this information and tools into everybody's hands, even the people who are most isolated, most disconnected, and most unlikely to come to services. So we really do that, trying to get to every single person. And then the final thing we do is gather, analyze, and use outcome data, right? Because if we're not making a real difference in people's lives, why bother? So those are really our 4 areas of activity. And just to give you an example of how they work together, because they're all intertwined, and then I'm going to turn it over to Helen, I'll use Newtown. So we've actually been doing community conversations in Newtown for 6 or 7 years now. We started at Community Bible Church on MLK. Some of you may know it. That's still one of our best partners. And we've done them in multiple settings, dozens and dozens of community conversations, partnering with local nonprofits, and really trying to shine a spotlight on some of the amazing people who live in this community. Helen is going to talk about her work, the facilitating post-traumatic growth stuff she's been doing also here in Newtown at churches, at nonprofits, at other organizations, and here in the Housing Authority as well. In terms of trauma-informed community development, we recently had a 3-day intensive training institute. We had 49 people. Father Paul Abernathy and his wife, Sister Christina, are the the creators, along with the Neighborhood Resilience Project, which is their program in Pittsburgh, the creators of this model, they came here and spent 3 amazing days training us in the model. And we had 49 participants. 20 of them were Newtown residents. And of those 27 were Housing Authority residents. And I can tell you who they were. Elena, Shanice, Devante, and Khalil. Many of you may know that family. That was a grandmother, a mom, and 2 high school kids. 3 generations. Vera and Beverly, who live here in McCown Tower, and Ms. Valerie. And of the 20 Newtown residents who were at the training, 11 of them are going to continue as paid neighborhood experts. That's to be part-time paid positions from September through December, where they will be interviewing neighborhood residents, building relationships, and eventually collecting data on a platform called I Am Healthy, which measures 5 domains of wellness. Physical health, which William mentioned how it's affected by trauma. Emotional health, we know that's affected by trauma. Spiritual health, social relationships, and financial health. All of those things directly impacted by people's history. So we're really excited about this, and our anticipation is that after that starting next year, that those part-time positions will translate into at least 3 full-time paid community organizer positions to stay here in Newtown. So that's the big overview, and now Helen's going to talk about her work.
Okay, well, I didn't really come since I was in Sarasota Housing. I came to tell you about the work that I've done here. So
Good.
I have done work in the churches and different organizations. But what I've done here, not only with the residents, but with the staff. So I gave I made you all some copies, which you can probably pass down, front and back. So on the first topic, the first thing I do, let me do this, because my life changed 30 years ago, and that's how I ended up getting into this. I grew up in a traumatic past home, domestic violence, went through divorces, abuse myself, and I learned something that changed my life in 1996. And I knew within 6 months I had started my company, Life Changing Consulting. I knew I had to help other people. I couldn't afford to go to that training. But I was like, it's people out there like myself that need to hear about not what we think, but how we think. So the first thing I do when I go to any class, whether it's the staff or the residents, I teach them about the thought cycle. And I teach them how, not what to think, but how we process thinking. So many times people are holding on to stuff that they've had for 90 years. Grandpa Poppy is gone and dead and gone. I'm still mad at him for what he did to me when I was 10. So what we've been doing, through my trainings, what I do is teach people how to let go of those things and recognize them for what they truly are. They're just thoughts. If it's not happening today, it's not real. And we don't have to take it as serious. So that's how I've done it. So as you can see from the staff point of view, here at Housing Authority, I work with almost all the staff, quite a bit, right, Ken? Different departments at one time. So with the staff training on this side, we did understanding the thought process, which was this, understanding, you can read it on your own, I'm not going to take up that time. Understand the effects of trauma on your health, not only on their health, but on their clients' health. Because so many times when you're dealing with people, you don't look at them, you look at their behavior instead of what they've been through. So this is what we went through. But I was so amazed that every time I've done training with staff, I have to counsel some staff, because guess what? We each have our own stuff going on. So that was part of it. ACEs, as William mentioned, I even let them take the test themselves, the staff. And then they saw how much. Then they had a little bit more empathy for the clients. They could come at them a little bit different way when they see that they got a lot in common. Forgiveness. That was one of the worst things that hold us back, is forgiveness. Separate reality. It's okay to see things different. I was telling them, even when I was working with the staff, well, how do you send them paperwork? Oh, get in the mail. Half of them can't read. How will we fix that? And they were finding out better ways. And what do most people use? The phone. Text them. Hey, I didn't get your thing. They'll see that. They may not go to the mailbox. They may not get the letter. So we started coming up with creative ways to make sure that we met the residents' needs. Seeing the innocence in yourself and in others is one of the topics. And then the trauma-informed care, making it stick. That meant like everybody, with your co-workers, with your residents. That was a training that we did. And on the back, you can see I kind of gave you some. This is not all of the topics. I couldn't put them all on here. But these are some of the topics. You know, our kids got some stuff going on. I have to do a lot of stuff with the kids. But when I come with the kids, no matter what the topic is, I always have a little, especially I work with mostly in the elementary. So I have to bring it down to their level. So I have a lot of, YouTube is great. They have a lot of, whatever topic I put, they have a little cartoon that shows it. And one little boy, I just use him as a testimony. I'll let you all read the rest of that. One of the worst little kids I saw in my class, and they did a thing a couple of years ago, and they had me brought up, and they had the little kids talk about what the program was. So they called his name. I won't call his name. I was like, oh no, that boy didn't sit still. He ain't learn. He sit there and had tears in my eyes when he said, Miss Helen taught me that I don't have to act on every thought that comes in my head. And I'm saying, when did he hear this? Because, you know, like I'm sitting there, this stuff was all over the place. So what I realized is that it's not whether we see it, but they're taking it in. And I feel that that's our cue. All we can do is give people information. Everybody say, oh, Helen, you healing everything. No. Helen can't heal anybody. They can only heal themselves. All I'm doing is giving you the information that you have the tools inside of you to make that change. And I'm watching that. He just blew my mind. I couldn't do nothing but get up and just hug him and cry. He could teach a class. I think I'll hire him to work with me. I mean, he was so good. But because of his ADHD, he was all over the place. But he was absorbing everything. So I've done that, and we're going to be doing, and I've done McGowan Towers. We used to do it. We did a week here. Remember? Now you remember me, right? So I did, and they continued. They took their thing. We started out with doing the group, and then they'd have bingo afterwards. And I think y'all have 2 sessions of bingo now, right? They kept the group. Yeah, they kept the group going even after I left. So I came. I did a 12-week with them. I did Casa Santa Marta. Same thing happened over there. It's just about bringing people together. And I just moved. I'm a senior in Amarilla's place. So I'm starting next Friday. I got a group that's gonna start over there. So I got to start over there. So all I'm doing is planting the seed to let people see they don't have to hold on to everything that they've been through, and they can start a new life from day and taking it one day at a time. So that's the services that we give, that I put to the table. All right. I'm gonna leave these
You said you was going to start back with McGowan Towers?
Once a week, we're going to have a lunch and learn the second Wednesday of the month at 12.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be 12 o'clock.
Can I get you one of these?
Oh, yes. And, it's going to be at 12 noon, and we're going to bring in different agencies. And this kind of started from something I did in Inglewood. Down in Inglewood, I worked with the church down there. I worked with Epic Resource Center down in Inglewood. And we did a lunch and learn, and it was really good. So I mentioned it to Michelle, and she said, well, maybe that's something. So we're going to partner, and we're going to bring in different topics and be different speakers. And the different speaker part came from, I did with the kids. I brought in somebody from the health department. They talked about food and different things like that. So we're going to do the same thing here once a month, a lunch and learn.
So I wanted to add, we're starting to focus more and more on the customer service skills of our team. And one of the things I thought about was a number of years ago, I went through a poverty simulation up in Bradenton, and it was put on by the Manatee Community Action something, I can't remember. They're called Step Up Suncoast or something now. But anyway, it was a very powerful experience. And I thought, well, this would be a great thing for our team to go through in terms of really opening their eyes, having much more empathy for what our clients are going through. I'll just say, I was so stressed out in this poverty simulator that I was late to pick up my daughter at the daycare, and I was arrested for child neglect. And honestly, I was so stressed out that I was relieved to be sitting in a jail cell. That's how stressed out I was. So it's really something. One of the things that really opened my eyes to is having to all the different places that people have to go to get, transportation assistance, to get childcare, to qualify for housing. And it's like, none of it is in the same location. You got to figure out how to get from A to B to C. And it's really, it's terrible. But anyway, I really thought it would be powerful to have our team go through that. And I want to invite the board to go through it as well. And so I started reaching out and trying to find out, does Sarasota even offer this and what's going on? And anyway, talking to Michelle, she, said, well, we need to get SRQ strong to get certified to be the facilitators of this, so that they could also infuse kind of the trauma-informed lens on the poverty simulator. And so they've made a lot of progress. I talked to one of the foundations, and they were eager to sponsor it. So now there's 2 foundations involved. So I think it's going to be great. Sarasota County Department of Health is very involved. So anyway, we're still trying to nail down some dates, but I'm excited for all of us to kind of experience that, and I'm excited for you guys to be key facilitators.
Yeah, no
So,
problem.
thank you.
Have knowledge, we'll bring it. Any questions?
I'd just like to say thank you so much. It's like such a powerful, well, I should say strong program that's really, really, I see benefiting our community. I just want to really say thank you. This is wonderful. I really didn't know all the details of this, and it's really helpful to understand firsthand what it's all about. So thank you so much. Keep up the great work.
I will too.
We appreciate you.
There's one extra point you made, because I jotted some of them down. Physical, emotional, spiritual, and financial health. What was the other one?
Social,
Social.
like relationships.
I know what it means.
And that's a big, because when you're dealing with trauma, you don't want to deal with other people.
Exactly.
And then you
You
feel
go to hibernation.
down, you feel
Understood.
like a victim, Yeah.
Oh, I felt that way, don't worry.
I know.
It's been awesome. Thank you
All right,
so
thank
much.
you for
Thank
having
you.
me.
Appreciate you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a quick question. Is it too late to sign up to say something?
No, you can still sign up. As a matter of fact, it's something over here I need to get. Okay, thank you so much, SRQ Strong. Okay, our next is the city, City Commission's liaison update, please.
I'll just do it from here.
Thank you.
I was trying to get some information to follow up on the comment that was at the last meeting about asking about the alley over here. Is it going to be one way? Is it 2-way? What kind of access? What that project is going to look like, how it's going to interface with this project, and they're still trying to get me all the details on that. So I'll have that for you at the next meeting so that we can share that with. I'm not sure if the resident, it's in our backup material who asked that question.
Yes.
So we'll be able to get
I actually
her.
talked to her the other day.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so we'll be able to get her that information as soon as I get it. And then from the city manager, the interim city manager, just to say that there have been discussions about First Street property with William, and those conversations are continuing.
yes.
In other words, we didn't get what we wanted.
No, the conversations are continuing.
Yeah, they're
Hasn't
continuing.
been decided.
That's right. So, all right, thank
Any
you.
questions or anything you want me to bring to the attention of the commissioners?
Well, no, we're good. We thank you so much for your update.
We thank you for coming. And
Appreciate it.
Commissioner Smith as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we can add an agenda. Very happy to see you again. We can add an agenda item for you, and if you have something to share, that would be wonderful. If you don't, you don't have to address every time, but if you have anything you want to update us on, happy to have you do that.
informed that I should ask my board if they would like me to be a liaison to this august body, and so I'm going to do that.
Okay, great.
Okay, good.
So,
You have to bring your wife.
I understand. Everyone says that.
This way, we know she'll keep you in line, like my wife does to
Nobody
me.
wants to see me. They want to see us. I understand.
So I want to thank you publicly here. We applied for. So the county has gotten 2 tranches of community development block grant disaster recovery funds. The first tranche was like $201 million, I think. And they had allocated those funds to different, projects and stuff. There was housing and infrastructure and all kinds of stuff. And they recently were going to reallocate. I think it was like 14 million or something like that. And the SRQ, I was going to say SRQ strong. Resilient SRQ team reached out to some of the applicants who had applied initially but didn't get funded, and so we reapplied for Central Gardens, and I want to thank Commissioner Smith. He specifically brought forth our project as the commission was discussing which projects they wanted to fund. And he brought forth Central Gardens and expressed his support for it, and it ended up getting unanimous support. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I also, if you don't mind, I want to take the opportunity to thank Mr. Gilbert for coming, Selby's representative. Selby Gardens is always, they're doing very well over there, and I appreciate you coming.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Suppose saying
Well, don't worry, I have broad shoulders, and we've had our differences before, and that's okay. I always talk to people I don't agree with. It's more fun.
It's always fun.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, we're gonna move on to our public presentations with a 3-minute time limit. And our first one will be Donna.
Oh, everybody stood up and said nice things. Now you're gonna hear someone bitch.
We're used to it.
We didn't expect you to do anything
Well,
else.
I haven't done this in a while, but here's my typical, because I don't want to get all scrambled and forgetful. This is something I actually stood up and did about 4 or 5 years ago, and everybody agreed right away that my point was valid, and they ended this practice I'm going to talk about today. First, I want to say hello to all, and of course, we're all happy to have a place to live that's reasonable, and excuse me if my esophagus goes and I have to take a drink. I have a problem. But the issue is right to quiet enjoyment, which we all have and all you have in your condominiums, wherever you live. If you live in a condo association of any kind, you have a right to quiet enjoyment, and we do too. The only big difference is in people that live here and you in the nicer places in town, so you don't get all the inspections we have. And there was another note on my door today for another inspection, but that's for later. But anyway, we have loudspeakers in our units. We're like the only place I know that has loudspeakers in our units, and the management has a microphone. Any of you live in that situation? Anybody? No. And I don't know anybody either that lives in that situation, and there's some extremely good uses for that, which I've listed, and I will read them because people on the tube can't hear it. I can't see it. If the electricity is going to be turned off, wouldn't everybody like to get that notice that, your electricity will be off for a few hours? Your water will be shut off. Excellent reason to use a loudspeaker in your little tiny unit, even though it makes you jump out of your chair. Elevators are going to be down so that we can maybe reschedule a doctor's appointment. Car is blocking emergency vehicles. Obvious things are extremely useful, and some of you might might like a loudspeaker in their house for these things. Tell us if the fire alarm that's blaring right inside of our units with that loud message telling us what to do until the fire department gets here. Tell if it's false, because some of us will be just sitting there worried up there, how are we gonna get down the stairs? Or any kind of emergency. Need to know information. Great to have a loudspeaker in your tiny apartment with a management with a microphone for those reasons. Now I want you to picture yourself sitting at home quietly and maybe having a cup of coffee. You're reading a book or something, and you hear announcements suddenly over the loudspeaker like, "Come on down and get some ice cream." I mean, it's posted everywhere. It's posted everywhere. And they do a good job of posting it everywhere. It's on our doors, it's in the elevators, it's in the halls. They do a good job of telling us. We don't need to hear 10 minutes, there's a movie in 10 minutes, and then 5 minutes later, 5 minutes left, we come down and see the movie. You feel like you're at the circus, come down and see the bearded lady in tent 2. We need, because we have a lot of people coming through our house, and it is generally very, very quiet. I have no problems with any of the tenants. They're like mice. But, give us a rest. Stay out of our units. I didn't invite you over. I didn't need you to listen to you talk in our units.
Okay. Give us a rest now.
Well, I want to make sure,
Excuse me,
because last time I did this, it ended.
I got you.
And I want to make sure, because just think of the 85-year-old people that are sick at home. Do they want that yelled in their house? They don't even understand English? You know what I mean?
Excuse me, ma'am, we appreciate everything that you're saying, but your time is, you'd like to
All
wrap
right,
this up, please?
so I got my point across. Does anybody disagree?
No. We all agree with you, and we
Thank
appreciate
you.
what you have to say, and there will be a response. Thank you.
Just think if I had a microphone and was doing that in your living room.
Okay, next we have Valerie Bishon, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I'm here today to ask Mr. Russell I would like to have a binder with all of SHA policies and regulations in a book, in a binder, like you had gave Ms. Roman when she came to be on the board. I also would like to, and you can tell me if I need to put in a public request, because I would like for the last 2 years of the pay scale for everybody that work for the housing authority, the position, the salaries and so forth, as I've gotten in the past. And there are still some concerns. And I would like to have this at least by Tuesday. I know Fridays y'all are off, but I don't want, when I ask for something, that it lingers, and then you send me by email a whole bunch of papers where I got to search through. But I know in that binder you have certain things, if this or that and everything. So I like to have that so we can have a copy in our office. I yet have concern about the people that are going through or subject to evictions, that we be notified, because we did talk about that, so that our residents will have representation. So we're still looking for those things to happen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Valerie, and you will get a response. Thank you. The next one is Donna. No, that was, I'm sorry, Pamela? No, oh, thank you. As much as I enjoyed it, no, thank you. Pamela?
She signed up twice, so she gets 6 minutes.
Okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, pretty much. My main concern is the lighting in the parking lot. There are no lights out there. I walk my dog late at, or usually at night after dark, and there are no lights in that parking lot. About 5 years ago, I had my car stolen out of the parking lot when there were no lights back there. And I don't know why that's such an issue. I'm sorry, was he talking?
No.
I don't know why it's so hard to get those lights working. And also the parking permits, which I realized today, because I couldn't hardly find a place to park. But half of the people, probably, I don't know half, I don't know how many, but there are many, many people out here that do not have parking permits. I don't know where they come from. There's a lot of places around here that they can come from. And a lot of times, I'm sure, if you walked around, you're not going to see any kind of a permit on these cars. And another thing, this is a question, has anybody got any idea when that fence will be fixed in the back? Because people walk in here at random, homeless people, whatever. Does anybody have any idea of that?
Soon, hopefully.
Soon?
I'll give you a response, but.
Okay, that's what I have to say.
Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
concern.
You're welcome.
I would also say, reach out to SSAS about we will let them like read at 4:30. They're taking parking spots.
That's ridiculous. She's right.
Okay, next is nomination and elections of officers. Okay, how do we?
And our chair and our vice chair still have 1 year to go, if that's the will of the board.
Yeah, I nominate, what's your name again?
I forgot.
I think we should continue the officers we have as written. If there's
I
any-
agree.
anybody
I agree.
disagrees.
Same.
Okay,
Okay.
so it's unanimous.
So I'll second the motion.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
against? Okay, thank you.
Man, that was the quickest,
Election.
well,
Okay, appointment of a community chair, committee chair?
so our committees are now ad hoc, so,
So we have an ongoing ad hoc development committee, so,
okay. So that we just have to do one?
yeah.
Okay.
It has been Jack. I don't know
It has
if
been
Jack
Jack,
wants to
yeah.
continue or.
Please.
If people don't mind.
No.
I don't mind.
Just
No,
make
we
it
mind.
quick.
Thank you.
I do a pretty good job
Okay.
making it quick.
Okay, so, Commissioner Meredith will retain committee chair? Or is there a motion?
We don't need a motion.
You don't need a
for that.
motion? We just, okay, thanks.
The one, I know we talked about it in the retreat, was about budget. So do we need, when are we gonna be doing budget stuff?
I was thinking we would do like a workshop in February
Okay, so we don't need a committee though, just a workshop? Okay,
for the whole board.
okay,
Okay,
I'm fine with that.
sounds good. Okay, we're gonna move on to resolutions. Resolution 2516, charitable contribution policy. Open for discussion, or can we move for a motion? Any questions?
Are there any changes in the
Any
policy?
claims? Any concerns?
Please.
Well, so as I was reading it, it says, any family, group, or organization requesting entity.
William,
Yes.
it's on the consent agenda. If a commissioner wants to pull it from the consent agenda, they can do so.
We only have one item, so I'll pull it.
Great.
Commissioner Morgan's pulling.
All right.
Is there anything else on that agenda?
No.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
So I'll pull it.
But It says any family, group, or organization requesting corporate sponsorship or charitable donation. I wanted to add, I wanted to say SHA staff or commissioner. Because sometimes it's not just the entity that's making the request. In fact, I've brought a request to present to the board as well. So it can be, sometimes it's an internal request. It's not just an external organization that's requesting it. So that was the only change I wanted to make to that.
Okay. So it'll come to the board when they're making the request.
Yeah.
Okay.
And,
What if it needs to be more immediate, or is it just SOL?
Shouldn't be.
Okay.
All right, I make a motion to accept the change as amended.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay.
Commissioner Mason seconded.
Yes.
And I have, as I've emailed the board about this, but I can hand this out. I used the new form, but the NAACP is having their 40th annual, their 40th annual Freedom Awards Gala on October 16th. And I'd like the boards, it's $2,000 for a table. So
Is this from the SHA or funding court for the donation?
it would probably be a funding court.
Okay, yeah, use one of our not-for-profits.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I didn't want to do this without the board's
Sure.
approval.
Very nice.
I know some of you have said you wanted to
Yeah.
attend, so.
Yeah. So congratulations to you and us.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I want to, I'll make the motion to approve the request
Okay.
From one of our not-for-profits.
from the funding court. Yep.
Okay.
Okay, and a second?
Yeah, second.
Yeah. Makes
We're okay with, we don't need to like
And Commissioner
have a whole
Mason
funding
seconded.
court meeting, do we? Rick? I'm basically approving using funding court. We're in an SHA meeting, but using the funding court, money.
We're using our discretionary funds from the funding corp, so we're not utilizing housing authority funds.
Or-
Commissioner Gallant attempted to answer for me, but, funding court dollars are not federal dollars.
Okay.
Correct.
So
Right.
they can be used more in your discretion.
No, I get that.
Caution though with your new policy, we
Okay.
need to review a little bit
All right.
that, nothing has changed in the federal level concerning SHA. So we need to be cognizant of not spending any federal dollars that have anything
Sure.
to do with,
All right.
partisan politics.
Okay.
It's just come up somewhere else recently, I just took the opportunity to mention it.
All right. I just want to make sure we don't have to have like 2 meetings or something.
He was wondering if we needed a SHFC meeting in order to use
Sorry.
SHFC funds.
Correct. Two different organizations.
All right.
Is he saying
But he
yes?
didn't answer.
I don't know. All right, let's just,
And we're having one next month.
yeah, but we don't have that.
That's fine. This is until what, October?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do it.
So that's fine.
And just one comment on those. I think I brought up once before, it might be good when we start looking at like the budget for next year or so, that we start to budget in like line items for these type of sponsorships. Might want to take that into consideration. So we have a line budget for it, and then we don't go over certain amount.
Sounds good.
Especially
Don't win
since
too many awards.
it's generally recurring.
All right. So, we'll make a
Okay.
motion to approve it.
Okay, made a motion and you Commissioner Mason, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Moving on to old business, development updates, redevelopment reports.
Yeah. Jake and Joe
Madam
are.
Chair,
Yes,
Madam Chair, could I request, if you don't mind,
yes.
to jump ahead a little bit and allow me to present on B, please?
Okay. That's fine.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, as you know, at your last board meeting, I had indicated that I was waiting on further responses for the annual performance evaluation. You have now received a compilation that I did today to allow maximum opportunity for response. We received 5 responses, and if you will look at the tally sheet based on those 5 responses, the composite score for this year for Mr. Russell is 4.28. So as you know, you may evaluate that based on the point system as to whether that translates into any type of adjustment for him. Any questions?
No, I just want to thank number 6 and 7 for completely agreeing with me on everything I had to say, I assume.
Well, I appreciate Commissioner Morgan's sarcasm, and
I did have a question regarding that too. At what point, if we want to entertain like a salary increase or a bonus or what have you, is this the time to do it, or is this something we bring up at another time?
no,
For this year?
I didn't.
Are you asking that up?
no, it's not the time to do it.
Yeah, that's what I was just asking.
That's what I said.
Okay, well, did I ask you or did I ask him?
I don't know, ask him. He's the one who gets paid the big bucks, not
Okay,
me.
Because he just brought it up to some degree, so I'm asking him. Yeah.
if you're asking me, normally you would have received this a little bit earlier than that, so you could consider it. However, we are several months beyond where we should have been completed with this.
Sure.
So you may entertain it at this meeting, or at latest, I would say, at the next meeting, since you only got it today.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Clarify that. And we can always, if we want to, just so as we're thinking things through for the next meeting, when we discuss it, we could potentially make things retroactive.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Okay, we're moving back to the A, development updates and redevelopment reports.
Sure.
Jake or Joe, which one of y'all want to go through the updates?
No.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, sorry, William. Are we doing updates solely on McAllen, or are we doing it on all the projects?
On all of them.
Okay. Do you have it on your agenda anyone in particular you want to start with?
I'd like to hear the parking garage.
The McAllen is number 1.
The 3 McAllen Towers, the new one.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to share the screen, William? I don't know if your board was able to get the document ahead of this meeting.
No, yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Give me 1 second. Just trying to get this pulled up here. All right. You guys able to see this?
Yes. Barely, but yeah. I'm squinting. But sure.
Any better or no?
No, it's fine. I mean, as good as it's gonna get.
If you can zoom.
Okay. Well, no, I think, so just a couple of quick takeaways since the last development board meeting that you guys had. So this is a sample studio. Talking with William earlier, it's pretty large, so we could probably actually just make this into a one bedroom. But basically, chose is 584 square feet.
Okay.
It's got a bathroom, kitchen, living room area, etc. So I'll make sure to share this with Andrea after the meeting so that everybody can look at this in closer detail, not on the screen you have. The other one is typical one bedroom unit, just 740 square feet. Showing that same kind of thing, nice big layout with a balcony as well. And then
Did the first one have a balcony?
What's up?
The first one have a balcony too? The studio?
Yes, they should have balconies. It's really just about their location, which I think more than anything, Slocum at this point, we just wanted to give you guys these so you can look at them. We have a little more calm and just provide any feedback, whether it be on the layout, size, etc. Like I said, I think Slocum is thinking that they have to be studios, this first one, but they're large enough that they could easily be a one bedroom. And then as we go down here, I think you guys have seen this already, but the basic, I'd say the main update since last time, let's see if we can get
it's better
on the screen. But really more than anything, we still have the commercial spaces and the parking garage. Now we have square footages across the board so that you can see this as well. And really the biggest change is just that I know William and Joe had a meeting with the city with regards to parking, and so we've dropped the level of parking at this point down to 234 spaces. Did a calc that from a requirement standpoint, once the existing McCown Towers, Annex, and 3 McCown are all built, you'd only need 136 spaces required. But I think there's a desire to have closer to like 217 if you multiply it by 0.8. So this new plan has 234, the previous one had over 300. And so that's probably the biggest change, along with, it's probably not visible on here, but just the architects and potential GCs have said, they both think that the garage structure can be prefab, take about 6 months total to build and get residents back parking in there, so it won't be down that long. And then the units outside would be a CMU exterior with wood interior, similarly to what's being done in Amaryllis and Central Gardens. So yeah, those are some of the major takeaways. There's lots of other sheets on here, but I won't run through every single one of them. Just kind of wanted to let you guys know what we have and the latest step that we've made. I know William would like to do a resident meeting as well, probably over the next 2-3 weeks here. So yeah, I'll stop there and see if there's any questions or comments.
I do. All right, so one of the big questions for me is what is the plan for parking while there's no parking?
Sure.
So I want to make sure whatever that cost is kind of,
Yeah, I think high level, from what I've understood, basically, I think there's a couple of things that need to occur. One is just understanding the existing parking that's going on right now, which residents are utilizing it. And then in meetings with the city, basically, they're not able to commit any of their parking via formal agreement. But we have put some exhibits together that we can share as well, probably outside of this meeting. I think we're just wrapping that up with all the existing on-street parking along with the Van Wezel parking that exists. And then I know both Joe, William, I think some of the board members are looking at some other lots that we could enter into a formal agreement. And during that 6-month period, which obviously we hope would be a lot less than that, we would just carry costs in this new development budget to do some type of shuttle or other service for residents that have cars and need to make sure that, you know, we're still serving them. So that's kind of the general plan right now, but obviously needs to be a little bit more developed as we go
Sure.
forward.
Yeah, if you guys can work on that, I would appreciate it. Especially, you know, like residents trying to get to doctor's appointments and, you know, so forth. I want to make sure, you know, they're not relying on street parking that may or may not be there, right? Like, we gotta have something.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I guess the other question is, we're moving past like any kind of public parking in there, right? Like we're done with that idea.
I don't think it's fair, this is Joe, I don't think it's fair to say that. I mean, the conversations will continue with the city regarding some parking. But at the moment, you know, I know that their plan is sort of dragging that a little bit. They want to do a parking study. They won't have that until into this year. And we have to get moving on design. So we've got to kind of work it in parallel. If the city wants to do it, you know, we'd still love to have that conversation. And I think that, you know, we had a meeting last week, and hopefully, you know, we'll have another meeting with them towards the end of September as well to kind of continue that. But
so,
you know, in the meantime, we're continuing on, and if we want to add a couple levels parking, we can do that down the road.
So one of my reasons why I like the idea was it could be a revenue generating source for us. And so, you know, anything that's brought, I want to make sure we can monetize it in a way, you know, for like looking in the future. And if it's not there, for me, I'm then opposed to it.
Well, so Commissioner, yeah, one of the conversations was about a revenue share, and again, it's still preliminary, but the city's response was that, you know, if they fund a garage, they would not be looking to do a revenue share because they'll be issuing bonds to pay for it. So that's something that's been brought up, and it's going to require further, further discussion without question.
Okay, but I'm just letting you know my kind of stance and feeling is one of those like.
No, yeah, we kind of figured that. We already kind of mentioned that to the city, so you know, you're heard. Thank you.
You know, and it can be, you know, like paying off the bond, like, you know, we all get that, but it's also one of those like, you know, it's kind of one of those, and we know it could be good for the neighborhood and or help the neighborhood and so on and so forth. So, all right.
So, and I do want to say that we're probably going to plan a couple of resident meetings with the residents here. We're looking at September 16th, which will be the day before the groundbreaking event, which is the next item of discussion. And we'll probably try to stagger, you know, the times of the meetings. Maybe have one late morning and another one like late afternoon or early evening, just to give people a chance to attend.
And you can give us let us know too. I know you'll give us
And get the residents' feedback on that. And then at this point we should have some at least preliminary design stuff to show the residents and get feedback on it. So
you'll give us the heads up so when you finalize the dates and times.
Yeah.
Good, Commissioner. I do have one more thing.
The next item on the agenda, Mr. Gilbert has a 6 o'clock radio spot he has to do down the street. I'm wondering, after this McCowan Tower discussion, if we can just cut in and
Can we just
and
pause
have
and
him come.
Let them do it now.
Yeah.
Come on. Sorry.
Thank you. I'll be really brief.
Thank you.
Like you said,
You brief.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. Good evening. I passed out a handout, what it is I'm talking about. In the minutes, it was described a little differently than what I'm trying to propose or asking you all to do. As you're aware, of course, you guys are doing such a great job over in what we used to call the old projects with your new development. The community loves it. I mean, I lived in those old projects a long time ago, and they were ready to come down then. So, thank you. What I'm asking, and as you can see, the people that have agreed for me to ask are listed there. As you may or may not know, I know Mr. Russell knows, I know this young lady right here surely knows. See how I did that? At one time, when they were known as the old project, Newtown Heights, whatever you want to call it, the way to identify where you were in that complex, there was a series of markers, and they were called the courts. And each one of them had a name: Bethune Court, Carter Court, Reed Court, Mays Court, Gore. Did I say Bethune? Carver. Yeah, they were all there, and their names came from prominent people in Black history. So, when the first part of the old project got torn down, we found only one of those markers that was left. And Mr. Russell and Kenny, he's not here, we got together and we got that marker cleaned up and repurposed, and we placed it in the courtyard of Amaryllis Park over there. A lot of people are very happy with that. So in touring, that was the only one we could find, by the way, that was left. In touring the new section over there, this bright idea hit me, said, and this is without changing any street names that's already been assigned for that to be, but to honor that history, those courts that were there, that on those buildings, we put up a little bronze plaque with those court names on it, no more, no less. And it's to honor the history, remember what was there, and to keep that history alive in our community. As we know, the history in our community is now being erased pretty damn fast. So that's what we're asking. There's some more in that flyer that details the what, why's what stuff, the sound good stuff. It's in that handout I have. Any questions?
No, we did talk about it. We were talking about even doing just
That's
a really,
I'm sorry.
a really nice one, even just either in kind of a central area or, like where people are getting their mails, so we can just, it's one place where everybody's going to.
I'm thinking past that. I'm thinking about actually on the buildings itself. Where you have the address, where you come in, a little bronze.
That's what I had last time, maybe.
It'd be like the Carver Court there, the next court down with the next area building would be grade court. Whatever.
But we are in agreement. I think at the development, they're all.
And I can walk it with someone to actually show you what the thought process is and what I'm thinking, and we can collaborate and come up with something. Hopefully, that we can do that history there. I know us old people would love it.
We would love it.
So, Mr. Gilbert, one thing we talked about that I just want to throw out there is having, let's say, a larger bronze plaque on the wall of the community building, directly across from all the mail kiosks, where everyone in the whole new campus is going to be coming and congregating to get their mail and stuff.
Okay.
And have not just list the names on that, but also, you did it to some extent in your letter, but to maybe have a brief description of, why they're being, memorialized and what their contributions were and why we're celebrating them. And so it would be a bigger one, but I think it'd be nice to not just list the names, but to maybe educate some of the younger people who they may see a name and be like, oh yeah, I think I know about them, but then they can read, kind of a brief synopsis of.
Okay.
So that was one idea we had discussed.
Okay.
One of the reasons was it seems that the history is being lost and not taught in the schools. When I went to school, you had to know who George Washington Carver was. Not just who he was, but what he did.
Exactly.
Okay. That he was a scientist. They don't teach that anymore, because I've asked kids about it.
Yeah.
You know, I used to be on the school board, and I used to ask things like that. And they'd look at me like I was out of my mind.
Yeah.
Well, you usually are. Well, you know, aside from that.
They recognize them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Any-
I think an explanation of each person is better. Mary Bethune-Cookman. I mean, like, you know, Bethune-Cookman College almost went out of business like 3 times. I can't save them again. I'm not there anymore. You know, I put them together with Governor Scott, and I put them together with George Bush, with Jeb Bush, and they helped them. But you know, now it's a different administration. I don't want to bring politics into it, but you know, we got to support these colleges, and we have to support these names. So that's, you know, that was William and I spoke about it, and some of the other people, and I think an explanation of each one is warranted.
Like it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm sorry I'm being
Any
long-winded.
questions? That's okay. They told me you.
I don't think there's any opposed.
All right, thank you. I gotta run.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
All right, good luck.
Just give me a call, Mr. Russ.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're gonna move back to development updates?
Yes.
So, the one other thing, Jake or Joe, can I see one of your pretty faces? Oh, there he is. So, also on the transportation, I want to make sure, you know, whether it's like a Lyft or an Uber voucher, so, you know, if it's after the shuttle service, so to speak, closes, that they're able to get to their vehicles. So however, you know, you can think you can work that out, but I just want to make sure, you know, it's kind of a little more of a 24/7, you know, for whomever it is. And I understand we can't have a 24/7 shuttle for, you know, 4 months or 6 months or 8 months or however long it's going to be. But just something to think about, or make sure you put it in the plan.
Sure, yeah, we'll continue to look at it and try to figure out the best way to handle it.
Okay. That was my last kind of comment on that.
Okay, groundbreaking event. We've discussed this previously, but we are scheduling that for September 17th, which is a Wednesday. I think it's going to be at 10 a.m. If we can line up parking, the event will probably be, we'll probably start at Lost on Lemon, and we could have the program in the lobby of Lost on Lemon. It's huge. And then what we're thinking is we could hire some like trolleys. Ken's looked into it, but have some trolleys, transport, unless the county wants to provide a scat bus, that would be nice too. But we could transport people from Lofts over to our Cypress Square Phase 2 development, and also have a shovel turning, you know, opportunity there, photos taken, all that kind of stuff. But basically trying to do both in the same event, if you will.
So I'll speak to the place with the parking, but that might be another. We get to use our new charitable contribution policy again.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure they would like a little donation for.
But if for some reason we can't find really convenient parking to have it at Lofts, we can have it also at the clubhouse at Cypress Square where we have parking, and we could have the program there and then shuttle people over to Lofts on Lemon 2 and have another shovel in the ground brief event as well. So
Give me like a week now.
all right, Lost on Lemon Phase 2. Jake, you want to update on that? Some exciting news.
Yeah, no super exciting news other than the project is going great. I think Washington team's doing a
Well,
good job.
since our last board meeting, we had a closing.
Oh, I thought thought we covered that, but yeah, we did have a closing, so that was very exciting. I could have sworn we did a whole update on that, but maybe
During the development meeting.
Yeah, we did discuss the development, but not everybody was there for that, so.
Okay. So yeah, we had a closing at the beginning of the month, and yeah, it was amazing. Everybody did a fantastic job, and yeah, the Wiseman team's been out there, very activated. I think they did a great job with the offsite work, and yeah, at this point, just want to see those FPL poles go underground and hopefully get going vertical sooner than later. So just everybody did a fantastic job on that deal, and yeah, just really happy to see construction progressing.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cypress Square, Phase 2.
Yeah, very similar update. Armor team's doing really well. I know 2 of the 3 building pads have been poured already. Saw some foundation surveys come in. Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job, and yeah, just kicking butt and moving very quickly. So I think those buildings will be going vertical pretty soon as well. So all good news.
Great. And another development we've got, as you notice, board, there's 4 developments in the pipeline. Cypress Square Phase 3, which includes Central Gardens.
Yeah, so I think the latest updates there are, one, as of this week, we have resubmitted all the materials for DRC to get on the planning board, hopefully at their October meeting. So I think we're just waiting on confirmation from staff that they pushed that forward. I know we mentioned on the development meeting, but not this meeting. I know William, Joe, and board did a great job of getting another $2.5 million of CDBG funds. So we had a call with the county about that. That went very well. So we'll start just underwriting those funds for that deal. And yeah, globally, everything looks really good. I think in terms of a closing, construction start, that's probably a March, April of 2026. With really the biggest item just being making it through that site plan review and getting full construction documents, which if Marmer keeps doing a good job, I think, yeah, no reason to go away from them. I know they were already pre-selected on Central, and they're providing updated numbers every month, and yeah, deal's looking good.
Any questions?
I have to say I've been really pleased with Marmer Construction.
I do. It's not about these though. It's what about the single family home, with the detached?
I think the plans are being finalized to put out the bid. So
When do you think that'll go?
hopefully within the next month or so.
Okay.
How many people are we gonna get in there?
Was it a 3-bedroom and then a?
Yeah.
2 stories?
The
Yeah,
house.
and that has
yeah.
the ADU on it.
Okay.
But then I think the ADU, the ADU is 1 story, right? Yeah. Okay.
So 2 households.
Okay.
All right.
Right.
That's it
Okay.
for old and new business.
Okay, so that's all, because we went over the, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can I have a motion for program updates, accepted by consent?
So moved. Thank you.
So, and Commissioner Mason seconded? Okay. Oh, Commissioner announcements.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
You gotta approve it, right?
Gotta prove it. Vote.
Gotta vote.
You got a second, but we don't vote.
oh. I apologize.
No.
So,
I accept, yeah.
oh, wait a minute.
We got a motion and a second. We all have to
I'm thinking about
vote.
that steak at the house. Okay, Everyone, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone against?
Shortcutted that
Thanks.
one.
Okay.
Right?
Thanks.
Good enough.
Okay. Commissioner announcements and comments. Commissioner Mason.
Yes. It was disappointing to learn that we didn't have a full board doing Mr. Russell's evaluation, right, wrong, or indifferent. To me, it shows a division, and that shouldn't be right, wrong, or indifferent. We all should do this by the time set out by the attorney. It's not fair to either of the gentlemen. It's not fair to the board. That's all I have to say.
Commissioner Mayor.
I would just like to say, I really appreciate you being here, Commissioner Smith, and taking the time out, as we do with Jan and Koch, taking this extra time out. I know you guys both have very busy days, and I really appreciate you, supporting us and being here. I just want to say thank you very much.
No comment.
Commissioner Loman.
No comments.
Commissioner Morgan.
I do. So I got to meet with William, and we spoke about, some of the goals that we had laid out. And so, just like we got to see the partners coming in today and speaking, and, and I know he's opened up the office, and so we talked about that and the customer service. And so, I just want to say I think it's great that, while we can't be perfect we're not going to be perfect, right? But to see some of these goals and things that we've laid out and already being either already implemented or, we can already see the plans moving forward. So, I think in the past years, as, we would really create these SMART goals and things for them, I think, we will get better at it and being able to, like I said, kind of create these objective milestones and things for them. And also, commissioners, thank you for taking your time and coming. Like I said, I know it's a long day, and come here and listen to all this for
It's a lot shorter than
on your Wednesday evening. Thank you. That's all.
Okay. I just want to make comments. Just say again, just to piggyback off. Thank you to the commissioners for being here. We really appreciate you. And then thanks for the residents that always come out every week, every month, and share your concerns with us, and we appreciate that. We really do. So I just want to say thank you.
We'll remind you on the speaker later.
Okay, can we call this meeting? Can we adjourn this meeting?
Absolutely.
Okay, and it's 6 o'clock.
Wow.
5:58. 5:59.
How many levels is the
Thanks, Suzanne.
going to be thus far?
Thanks, Joe.
7?
No, it's
I'm particularly interested.
it's either going to be 4 or 5.
Only 4 or 5?
Yeah.
So what about all that parking garage stuff?
Oh, really?
What's that?
Just
What
It will be higher than that for sure.
Good or bad?
What do you have up there now?